Hello and welcome everyone to this video where we are analyzing today the PWM of the iPhone 16. If you are here, you probably know about PWM and you are probably looking for your new phone and which one to choose, which one fits for you and which one does not give you the symptoms. If you are here and didn't hear about the PWM before, PWM is something used in OLED displays and other LED displays. It's simply a way to reduce brightness by altering the level of brightness very fast. Your eyes won't notice directly, it always looks the same, but it is causing symptoms like eye strain or stiff necks or blurry vision for some people, approximately 5 to 15% as what I have read. And this channel and especially this video is made to measure this PWM in the different displays, because each manufacturer, each display is different and there is not a lot of data out there to understand why one display is causing issues for one person and the other one is causing no or not so much issues or symptoms or different symptoms. So today we are gonna analyze the iPhone 16. I have gotten it back home and we are analyzing it with a oscilloscope like this, a small handy one with a photodiode, and put the photodiode directly on the display. For more information about the hardware I use, check my other videos where I've already talked about it. So what we do today is we measure the brightness level, the PWM for brightness levels 100, 75, 50, 25 and 0. And we are going to put this data into our sheet. As you can see, we've already covered two phones and gotten the data from them. We are covering the frequency, the min and max, and basically the difference is the most interesting one of the voltage drops, and then we have another measurement which is the difference in time. This is different than the hertz because we can of course calculate the differences in the rhythms by using hertz, but this one is for looking how much does it take for the brightness to be from 100 dipping down and be 100% again, because some theories say that this is causing one problem, that it takes too long to get to 100% brightness again. So that's what we are measuring, and let's get into it. So here I have it, as you've already seen. That's the iPhone 16. I have put it on 100% brightness now, and let's get it started. I just simply put the photodiode on it, and as you can see on the oscilloscope, it changes directly. And let's pause this for a second, and I will measure, set up the measurement for us to use it. And this is one line where we put it on the highest 100% brightness or 100% volts, and then it dips down, and you can see it later on the display on my monitor on brighter, but I think you can see it a little bit. So let's put this into the sheet, and we have a frequency of 480 hertz, and we have a lowest of minus 1.72 volts and a it's the first video for max 0.07 and then we have minus 1.72, which makes a difference of 2.44 volts. And when we look at the time it takes, it's exactly 1 millisecond here. Yeah, so let's get on to 75% approximately. And I simply use white, but we can just for fun go for different colors later on too. Alright, so this is 75%, and you don't see so much of a difference here. I can basically leave the measurements, like the difference of time, as it is, and we have again 480 hertz and a max of 0.076 volts and a minus of 2.08, and you can see it's a little bit different, and we have already changes here of 0.4 volts approximately. So, and the diff time, as you can see, it's pretty much the same. It is 1 millisecond. And I will just go back for a second to 100% because I missed to take a screenshot of our oscilloscope to let it to see it on the screen later on. Just give me a second to save it, and there we go. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go to 50% of brightness on this iPhone 16, and let's get it going. Let's put it on, and you can see that it did not change a lot, but a little, and we still have 480 hertz and a maximum of 0.04 volts and a minimum of 1.96 volts, which makes a difference of 2.6 volts, and that is already it is again a bit bigger, and we are going a little bit lower on the max brightness, which makes sense. Compared to this one, it gets it was max was 0.07.76, and then we go a little bit darker again with a different time here. So let's measure this difference here. Let's go to max and max, and it takes a little bit longer now. It takes around 1.2 milliseconds. Alright, let's take a screenshot here as well, so we can use it on the screen. Let's go to around 25%. You cannot see it, it's too bright, and my camera is not adapting good enough. So what you get now is this one, which looks quite different, and which has a lot of changes, and it has 480 hertz, a maximum of 4.06 and a minimum of minus 2.76 volts, which makes a difference of 6.9, almost 7 volts. And as you can see, this looks like a wave and not so much like dips. And when we want to measure it, you can see that it really takes a lot of time. It takes 2.04 milliseconds, which is almost doubled. And I think the most interesting thing here to see is that it's really like waves and not so much dips anymore. And as I've said already, this may cause problems, and especially in PWM the problem occurs on lower brightnesses, because of course the display has to go down with the brightness somehow, and this is the way one manufacturer does it and the other one does it this way. And you can see here when we go down to down to 0% or like the lowest brightness that it is changing a little bit wild. Let me get the straight measurement, and I will pause the video for a second. I'm right back. So I had adjusted the horizontal scale a little bit, and we are now on not like before, but we are on 5 milliseconds each square. And as you can see, this is now getting very rhythmic, like not before. We had only the same way the waves like dipped again and again, and now we have like waves in between the waves. And I will save this one for 0%, and when we go inside and closer down here, like this, then you can see what is going on here. It's exactly more or less the same that is going on here, as you can see. So it's like this dance happening when we go even further out and change the scale. Let me save this for you as well and get this on the screen. I will just take notes on my sheet, and then we'll look at the data on the monitor, so you can follow what I am saying. This one is the one I want. So yeah, I mean, it's not my sheet is not made for this, right? We have a frequency of 380 hertz, which probably, I'm not sure. Not sure how the oscilloscope is calculating this. And we have a maximum of 2.28 volts and a minimum of minus 2.4, which makes a difference of 4.32 volts. And so now we have not yet taken the like these peaks, how long it takes to get to full brightness again, right? But it is difficult to say which one we take, because we can take the lower ones here, but we can also take the higher ones here, or we take like one circle. I would say we go for this one, and then we have a 2.2 milliseconds of difference. Okay guys, so I will put the screens on my monitor for you. Give me a second. Okay, so this is what the oscilloscope looks like when you have it sharp. That's the extracted image, and we are gonna have a look at this. I'm gonna show you at first 100%, and as you've seen at first, so these are that's the data I've recorded on the sheet, right? And you can see this line pretty much is 100% brightness, and still on 100% brightness you would expect just one line, but still we have the dips, which is probably also an issue, why people can't use the iPhone at all. check. Sorry, so this was the I want to give you a comparison. So this was the Samsung one, and this is the that's the iPhone. So we have a huge difference. We have the squares here is each square on vertical line is 1 volt and horizontally it's 1 millisecond. So you see that's a big difference here we have, and that's a small dip here. It takes a little bit longer, and Samsung has very low dips. As you can see, that does not mean it's 0% brightness or the LED is off. It's just a dip in the brightness, which is causing the same level of brightness. And I would say that is because the Samsung is a little bit brighter. I don't have the specs at hand, but I would say that's the issue, that's the cause here, because we have a maximum of 700 millivolts only and 960 millivolts here. But again, I'm not sure what is causing the. I think it's both. We have the same hertz, and it's also the change in dips, which is causing the brightness, and that's the Samsung one, and we have the iPhone 16 here against Samsung, and you see the pattern pretty much stays the same, which is not very interesting, I would say. Which is something that is interesting. What we've seen is for 0%, right? So let's go on the iPhone first. We cannot see so much, but we can see that there is a rhythmic, that there's a wave inside the wave. So we have those smaller dips and ups and downs, and they have a bigger wave inside again. That's what I mean. That's always iPhone 16 here, and you have these dips inside the wave. So this wave is going, and this one, and this one, and inside you have the dips and ups and downs. And we have the Samsung here on the right side, and both again on 0%, and you also have these waves, but not so much, right? It looks different. It pretty much stays the same on this line, on this heat, and the lowest points are more or less the same, while we have more wave on the top here. So I think that's interesting to see some differences in those. That's when we go closer in, seeing one wave, and yeah, that's the scale we had with 1 millisecond. Right, we have 5 milliseconds here. That's 1 millisecond here. Let's see if I have the 1 millisecond here as well. Nope. So you can see this it doesn't even match one screen when we have 1 millisecond on the vertical line. So that, for me, it's pretty messy when you watch like what's going on for your eyes here. It's bright, then it dips a little bit, then it goes even lower, then it gets a little bit brighter, not so much as before, then it goes lower again, and then it goes brighter again, and low, bright, low, bright, low, even brighter, and then you have this strange thing happening here where it's getting darker and small, just increase of brightness. Well, for me, I imagine your pupils are reacting to this somehow. This simply is messy. I mean, this as well. I can show you something from the Vivo X200. if you are curious. And this one was on 0% brightness. It's also pretty messy, right? You have these, you don't not so much have these waves. It stays the same, the rhythms is the same. But if you see, like, this is 1 millisecond as well, and we are on one wall, so you can directly compare these two, this one and this one. Like, what's happening here, what's happening here, like that's pretty different, and still this is looking crazy for my eyes, I would assume. Yeah. So interesting to see different displays having like completely different rates, especially on one on zero brightness, because yeah, as I've said, you can directly compare these two against each other. This one not so much, because we have a 2 millisecond here on the vertical scale. So imagine stretching on the vertical line here. But still, yeah, people have issues with all of them. So that's why we get to the next thing here, right? We have the data covered. We see that this is there are many differences between the displays. If you go for 100 brightness, the Vivo has 1.24 volts, while the iPhone has twice as much, and the iPhone goes like crazy, 100% brightness. And then you have on lowest, we are the Samsung and the iPhone are pretty close, but the Vivo is almost half. So now we have the data as much as my home lab can cover it, from this side, from the physics side. Let's get into this one. So we had the iPhone 16, and I will go, oh, this is not going much, but what my experience with it was eye strain, burning eyes, and blurry vision as well. So yeah, this sheet is probably not the best to use when there's when we are going lower and lower, but it works. Okay, so let me know. This is draft, so I would encourage you to use this form as well. It is I will post a link on the description. This way we collect the data for different users, how they behave and how they react to different screens. And I encourage you to use it, so we have a foundation finally. As for me, with the iPhone 16, to wrap this up, as for me, the iPhone 16 won't work. I have tested it and it does not work for my eyes, so I will have to get rid of it again. I was assuming that this would be the case, because so many reviews I've read about PWM issues have already made it pretty clear that the iPhone does not work, and the previous iPhone 16 didn't work for many people, and so on, as well as the Samsung screens. But now we have some more scientific data about it, and yeah, I hope you found this video useful. If you liked it, if it helps you or someone you know, please share and subscribe to this channel, so we can gather a little bit of attraction from maybe companies who see that there is a movement, there are people having issues with the PWM. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and if you're curious about further videos, hit the bell button, I guess. I will post further videos. The next one will be the Xiaomi 15, which finally has a release date on March 2nd, I guess, for Europe at least. And I will get it and I will take a video. I hope that Xiaomi will work for me, but we will see. Alright, thanks for staying with me, and I wish you all a good time. See you on the next video, and bye bye.